G'day, CQ Brewer here. Getting ready for a brew day this weekend. In fact, I'm going to do a double brew day, I think. I apologise that it's been 3 or 4 weeks since the last one, but I've got Saturday and Sunday free this weekend. And I've got an empty fermentation fridge, so I think we're going to do two. I'm going to have Pablo and Jane here. Now, Pablo, you might have heard the awesome theme song a week or two ago. So Pablo was the guy that wrote and sung it, and Jane was in there performing as well. So they're going to be here Saturday and Sunday. Now they've drunk plenty of my beers before. Jane is a lager person, and I haven't made a lot of lagers, so that's this weekend. I think we're going to make 2 lagers just for her while she's here, and I'm going to build the recipe. So this video will be a little bit on how I use Beersmith3 and how I build the recipe. Let's take a look. So here we are on Beersmith. I'll close some of these windows that I opened. Basically, when you open it up, this is what it looks like. Here's a bunch of recipes. You would have seen me make the inaugural ale, and here's some I made before I started videoing. We'll have a look at those later. So basically, with the program, you can build a recipe, and it gives you some sort of hints and target bitternesses and final gravities, specific gravities, or original gravities, yeast, depending on what style you want. It also takes track of inventory. So if we have a look in there, whenever I buy a bit of malt or yeast or hops, I'll go in and add it to the inventory, so I can see here what I've got in the cupboard. Saves having to go down and go through all my bags and containers. You can also put the cost that you paid in for it, and when we get into the recipes, you'll see it can tell you how much a recipe costs, which is cool. So I get stuck into it. I want to make a lager. So if I go back to my recipes here, and I go add recipe, the first thing I'm going to do is pick the beer style down here, and we can probably search. There'll be a bunch of lagers in here. I think I'm just going to pick a normal American lager. If you hover over it, it'll sort of say what it is. But anyway, that looks like the goods, and what that does is populates the style sort of notes down here. We'll leave it as an untitled lager for the time being. We might let Jane name it. So untitled lager. Now the batch size, I've been getting 25 litres or 26 litres out of these things, something like that. 72% efficiency is pretty close. Boil time, I think I'm going to bump up to 70 minutes, and I'll talk about that why in the blog, I think. Alright, so let's add some grain. Now, I don't have any Pilsner or lager grain. I do have this pale malt, which colour is 3.9. Someone might be able to correct me, but I think the difference between Pilsner and pale malt really is mostly just the colour. So what we might end up with is a slightly darker sort of a lager than if we used Pilsner malt, but I'm going to go with 5 kilos in the mash. If I go okay, bang, that pops up. And for a little bit of specialty malt, I've got this Vienna malt. I think that might be good in a lager, so I might go half a kilo. So that puts us right in range here for the gravity, and like I said, it's at the higher end for the colour, but that's actually in range, which I'm happy with. 4.5%, which is good. Maybe we can bomb that up a bit here. Maybe we'll go 0.75 4.8. That'll be a nice ballsy lager. I don't want to go too much more because we'll end up off the top end of the colour scale here shortly, so I don't want to do that. So I can go add hops now, and this will fix the bitterness up for us. Now I think I'm just going to do some Cascade. This has got low, lagers normally don't have a lot of hops, they're not very bitter. That Cascade that I've got there is low alpha acid content. I've got 40 grams, so what if I threw 40 grams in for 60 minutes? Okay, so it's saying 26.9, which is off the top end of the scale here, so that's cool. There's two ways we can change it. We could put less hops in, or we could boil it for less. So what if we only boil it for 45 minutes? We're still up there, okay. So we might have to drop it right back to get it back in range. There we are there. Look, in all honesty, 40 grams is probably too much. So maybe we go 20 grams, 40 minutes. Yeah, it's looking right in the middle there. Now you can add dry hops in here as well. I'm not going to dry hop it. So that's got us right in the target range. We can add yeasts. I've got some lager yeast. There you go. I haven't fixed my inventory up for yeast. So I've got a couple of lager yeasts in the fridge. I can't remember what they are now. They're fermenters. So we'll have a look at those later. Look, that's the very basics of it. Now you can start to get into yeast starters. I haven't delved into this stuff at all. Maybe in the future. You can see your water flows. So if I go back to the recipe, something I didn't show you. Down here, where are we? Just here we can select the equipment. So we've got 10 gallon all grain, and it should say 3 vessel in there, which is what I'm brewing with. Okay, so it's cooler. It's a stainless. That's fine. Okay. Single infusion, medium body. We're going to carbonate with a keg. It's cool. It's going to be a lager, single stage lager. This is suggesting that it ages for 30 days. That's probably fine, so we'll throw that in there. Good. So you can play with your water quality in here. Again, I haven't delved into that too much yet. You can get some water quantities for your mash in, for your boiler. There's a bit of a timer tool here. I don't tend to use it. There's some chemistry and water type stuff here, and some notes you can throw in. So look, it's an easy tool to use, but it's got a bunch of advanced sort of features as well. So definitely recommend using it. Look, keep an eye out for the video for Brew Day on the weekend. Should be a good one. Cheers.